Hello guys, how are you? My name is SGP. Kanaguti Segurugudo Pikicha. Yes, I am a YouTuber. Please, before we go any further, I ask you politely to subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the notification bell, just like what you have been doing to other people's channels. I wish that one day my channel will grow bigger and be helpful to the society. Yes, so today I will be on a special topic that we need to discuss. I've never thought of doing a topic like this, but I think now I have the audacity to talk about it because I have experience. Now I have something to write home about. Anyway, let's just dive into today's business and see what we can do. Anyway, today I want to talk about white people. Yes, I want to talk about white people. Me, I'm a black person. Then there are white people. I could have uploaded an image of a black and white person, but I hope you know. If you're a white person watching right now, you know what a white person is and you know what a black person is. If you're a black brother, black sister watching, you know what a black person is and what a white person is. Right. Right. So today I want to talk about my experience with white people. For so many years, I've heard people talking about white supremacy. White supremacy, I might not have the definition with me right here, but I am going to be talking just like an ordinary man. No need to put heavy vocabulary on this, just general talking. Because when these things happen, they happen to us general people, white and black. So, from my experience as a black man, I've heard that whites are racist. That's what I've heard. I cannot deny, I cannot agree, but I am going to share with you my experience. Okay. White people, most white people, especially the white people that we know two types of white people. We know white people from who are in overseas countries. Then we know white people who are here in Africa, in African countries. White people who are here in African countries, most of them, they are business people, they are rich people, they own businesses, they own land, they own a lot of things. So, the majority of black people, they have to work for white people. So, I don't understand why. Like, for instance, I've been working in South Africa in farms. I've gone to different companies. When you go to a farm in South Africa, you're going to see 4 white people. Then you're going to see thousands or hundreds of black people working for white people. I don't know why there's a setup such like that if everyone is equal, if white people are not racist. I think white people will say something in the comment section. Then something comes to my mind. Does it mean that black people are like slaves? Because black people used to be sold as slaves a long time ago. And I think the face of slavery is just changed or moved into a modern way. There's still slavery, but it's now acceptable. So I don't want to rush to say white people are slave masters, but when you find the majority of a race working for the minority, there becomes a problem. How can a farm that is so large have only white 4 people who are working in the offices and the rest of black people are in the fields? That setup alone tells you something. So let's move on. I've been working for white people. There are some nice white people. Then there are some I think it depends with how you are getting involved with a white person. But mostly white people get involved with the black people because they are bosses, they are business owners, and black people are workers. So most white people, for their work to get done, they have to shout. If they have to put a hand on you, they will. So most of the time we don't see this happening from white people to another white person because there will be only 4 people at a farm. And the kind of jobs that the other white guys will be doing don't need a whip, don't need cruelty, don't need any other physical kind of action. So that is some of my experience working at the farms. Right, working at the farms or working for white people. The other issue that I've noticed is the salary. The salary that goes to black people is lesser than what goes to a white person. I don't know why that setup is there. If you're a white person and what I'm saying is wrong, please let me know. I don't blame this beer. This black label has nothing to do with this. This is a disclaimer. Mostly, or most of the time, the salary for black people is lower and the salary for white people is higher. Some might say it depends with what you are contributing to the company. So there is another issue also. Black people are found in the fields, white people are found in the office. Why don't they put black people in the office and why don't white people work in the fields? Let's say we are equal. Let's say all humans are created equal. How come we see 3 white people on a farm, then we see hundreds of black people in the fields on a farm? You don't find a black person in the offices. You only find white people in the offices. I would love to know from white people why that setup is like that, from other black people why that setup is like that. Of course, they might be the owners of the farm. They might be qualified to do managerial work or whatever. How come there is no equality, or how come there is no a farm where you find black people in the offices, then another black people in the fields, black people working together, but whilst they are working for a white person, maybe who is at his home or overseas or doing other business rounds. So you find out that you are going to see a manager of the farm will be white, the clerks and those who are running the office will be white as well. But the majority that are driving tractors, spraying the fields and working in the fields, they are blacks, most of them. So that is a question that I would like to be answered by white folks and other black folks as well in the comment section. Please say something if you have something to say. Anyway, moving forward. Living in South Africa, I've traveled to different parts of South Africa. I would like to say I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful for you South Africans for taking care of us foreigners without proper documents. And I really appreciate that. So, whilst I was moving around, I noticed that there are white neighborhoods, then there are black neighborhoods, then there are colored neighborhoods. These races, they live in different neighborhoods. When you walk in a black neighborhood, nobody minds what are you doing, where are you going, and all that stuff. And mostly black neighborhoods, they are crowded. Let's go to white neighborhoods. White neighborhoods, they are peaceful, they are clean, they are quiet. You don't find white people loitering there. Maybe most of them are employed. I don't know. Black people are not employed. I don't know. That's another story for another day. When you go to colored neighborhoods, they are a bit similar to black neighborhoods, but they are a bit better. Even at work, I've noticed that mostly it's white colors than blacks. So yeah, going back to my story for today, it's mostly white versus black. So in black and white communities, like recently, I'm a photographer. I was doing a photo shoot. Then we went to this place and we were allowed to go in. Then after being allowed to go in, we wanted to shoot photos because this place is so nice. But it's allowed. You can just take photos in there. Literally. So we went into that compound and we started to take photos. We were allowed and we took photos for almost 40 something minutes. Then some white people were jogging around that place. Then a security guard car came. Then it said, some white people are complaining that you are taking photos here. I wonder why white people feel uneasy around black people. But when a white person is walking in my neighborhood of black people, I don't even give shit about it. I don't even mind what are they doing or like staring at them. But there are some places, if you go there and you're just walking, you can, out of the blue, a security car will just pull up and say, what are you doing here? Who are you? What is your business? So that is actually answered the question why people say whites are racist. You don't get called by the police or by security people that a white person is working in the black community. No, that will never happen. So there are, now, I want you to listen to this very carefully. Now there are white people watching this video, then they will say, no, we are not all racist. There are some guys, me, I don't even mind about that. But remember, when the majority of you white guys behave that way against the black brothers, it becomes an issue and it becomes a point that white people are really or are truly racist. Because when you are 10 white people and 8 people behave in a racist manner, then the majority wins. So mostly poor white people, poor white folks are the ones that say we are not racist. Maybe because they don't have anything to lose. That is something that I have also noticed. When a white person has nothing to lose, he flip the coin, he goes onto the black side. Because it seems it's like blacks have nothing to lose. Then white people have something to lose. So, you know, when you walk in these white neighborhoods, they are so quiet. So quiet. Even when you're walking, you can feel eyes piercing through the windows looking at you. And they will be on the phone right away calling. There's a black person walking in the neighborhood. Anyway, I'm not making this up. I've seen this on YouTube, on many videos, on TV of white people who call the police or security that there's a black person walking in the neighborhood. This thing is happening everywhere in the world. It's happening everywhere. The other day I was shooting a music video in this street. Then a security van, a private security van came and said, what are you doing? It's not allowed to do this. But I was shooting also that music video in the black neighborhood. Nobody came. We did not vandalize anything. We did not go into anybody's yard. We were in the middle of the road. I'm just wondering if my phone was stolen there, who was going to claim responsibility and say we are going to replace your phone? Were the white folks going to do that? I don't understand. I don't think anybody was going to say is responsible that my phone was stolen in the middle of the road. They were going to say, no, we don't own that land. My space is from this corner to this corner. So now I want to talk about another issue. I've been burning inside to talk to those white folks who go to Jehovah's Witnesses church. I see a lot of them giving pamphlets. They like to come to the black community and walk door by door knocking. I wanted to ask them this question. After you give us these pamphlets and these books of Jehovah's Witnesses, where are you going to sleep? Do you have a house in the black suburb, or you have to go back to the white suburbs or to the white neighborhoods? I don't think they are going to win on that. Because I know these Jehovah's Witnesses, white people who pretend like they like to get involved with black people. They don't live in the black community. So, before you start sharing your pamphlets, you Jehovah's Witnesses, white folks, I really like the messages in your pamphlets. It's about love, God, and this preaching thing, which is very good. You are doing a lot of good work for the Lord. But how come after you pass around these pamphlets, you go to the white neighborhood and sleep peacefully? Why don't you stay with us? Wake up every day with us. Mingle with us. Share the life that we live as black people. No excuses, guys, no excuses. But I think if you're a white person and you go to Jehovah's Witness or any other church that is these missionaries that goes around preaching to people, the best thing you need to do before you come to the black neighborhood is to find a room and stay with them, buy the Somalian shops, buy the local shops, buy the food that we eat. Then you can preach to us about love and God. I think God is watching and is listening to this, and He knows. I just wonder if God is all colors, or is white, or is black. I don't know, because I just wonder if God was black also. I think those white guys, after preaching, they would prepare to reside or to stay in the black neighborhood, but they don't. You can't preach a black God, then you go and sleep in the white neighborhood. It's obvious they are preaching a white God. Okay, that is a story for another day. So when I started this conversation, I wanted to be neutral, but I'm just spitting the facts as they are. So you are going to decide for yourself in the comment section from my experience. Now we are getting to another interesting point, right? The most friendly white people that I know, the poor white people, those on TV, those that work in the public sector for the government. Yeah, those are very friendly, and when you meet them, the nurses, they are so friendly, I just wonder if all white people were like that. So, black people, fingers have been pointed at them for being violent, for being thugs, for being unfaithful, like like they steal, something like that. So, white people have also a side to answer for, the racist side. They don't like black people, but they employ black people. Just imagine if those white folks are on a farm and the farm has got a lot of hectares and all the black people are saying, "Now, we are not going to work for you." What is going to happen? If every black person says tools down at companies, at farms, at wherever, what's going to happen to white people? So I have another understanding. Remember, this is from an ordinary man. I told you that I don't know much of vocabulary, or I am not talking of research from research from other people's. I'm talking from my experience. The world has hierarchies, like stages of supremacy or power. Jesus, this black label, just like a black person, it's not good at all. I mean, it's good for its job that it's doing. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that I don't get drunk and miss the points here. It seems like black people will have to wake up at some point, because this leadership thing, you can see, is we cannot deny that white people are above us. White people are supreme. Because when you find 4 white people on a farm and 100 black people on a farm, it tells you something. You cannot deny. We cannot deny that. We cannot deny that. So which means there cannot be a black god on top of the white. It cannot be black, white, black. It goes like. So when in general people talk about good and bad things, white things are said to be good things. Black things are said to be bad things or evil. So you see this black keyboard here, this black wireless keyboard. It's color, but this color is associated with negativity and evil. So a black-skinned person, and whatever originally they started before the white people intervened, is deemed evil. Religion, the way they dress, look at the way that our forefathers used to do, our ancestors used to dress in. It was eradicated, no more. Now we are dressing like how white people want us to dress like. So white people tell me that why black people are no longer dressing like what their ancestors used to do. Is it because is it because of our foolishness that we threw away our ancestors' dress code, or you came in and said this is not a proper way of dressing? We know what happened. So, still on that color issue, everything that is black is labeled evil. Something that is white is labeled good. So, we cannot deny or cannot say we are equal. Us black people and white people, we will never be equal. Because that difference of night and day speaks volumes. And it will go forever and ever and ever and ever. So we have like white children of my age who say, we are not racist. It's our forefathers, our ancestors who were racist, who took things from you. But look right now. There are white children who can spend even a year without seeing a black person in real life. They only see black people on TV. But as black people, we see white people everywhere, every day. You see, there are some white people, some white children, when they see black people, they even cry. Like they've seen something from hell. Then this denying goes on and on. White people saying, no, we love you guys, we are equal, black people and white people are equal. Then there are other black folks who say, no, we are equal. These guys, they love us, they are not racist. I told you that there are only 3 people that I've come to understand that are friendly from the white community. These are poor people. These are white people that work on TV stations and in the public sector, like hospitals. They are so friendly, and government offices. They are so. You can even think it's just a black person who is colored in white for that day. When you see how friendly they are, they help a lot. So shout out to you, those guys in those sectors, those white guys in those sectors. I wish everyone was like that. Even the English, when you are listening to a white person speaking on TV, the English is clearer and more easy to understand than a random white person that we've never met before. I don't know why it's like that. So guys, this is some of my experience that I've come across while living in South Africa. Our forefathers from Zimbabwe, they used to come to South Africa. Then they used to say white people used to treat them like this. We have heard from history that white people used to treat black people very bad. But now I came years and years later after my forefathers, after my fathers. My father even came here and worked in Joburg, Wenera mines. They were in the days of Wenera. He used to talk about white people. Now I'm here also. Years later, I'm working in South Africa. I've got involved myself with white people, and this is my story about white people. So there are white people who are friendly, but there are a few. Out of 100 people, only 10 white people are friendly. I want to make this clear also. You see, these white people are not friendly. It's not their fault. It's like parents, they keep on. I don't know how white parents raise their children. It's like they tell them, you see, a black person is not good. I think that's what they tell them. Because right now, I cannot even approach a white girl. Even if you try to approach a white girl, they'll avoid you. They don't mix with black people. Even at the beach, whites, they have their own white beach where they prefer. You see, so when we try to turn a blind eye to racism and say it doesn't exist or it's a thing of the past, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's not a thing of the past. It's still there. It's existing. It's there. So, guys, this was me talking about racism today. And I hope you are going to tell your story another day. I have a lot of things that I want to get involved with white people, but I don't know where to find them. How can I approach them? How would they trust me? How are they going to trust me at all? It's very easy to approach another black person and say, I want help. I need some help, brother. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a white person out there, what's your thoughts on this? Was I one-sided? Was I spitting facts? Was I lying about you guys? Are you innocent of this? Have you truly changed? Is racism gone? Out of 100%, how many whites are racist and how many are not? Is it 50-50? Or only 10% of racist or of racist whites are only existing? The other 90% is no longer in existence. Racism is over. Is that true? Is it that way? But as for me, I don't think so. I still feel the yoke of white supremacy on my shoulders, even if I'm on YouTube, even if the video is coming out nice like this, even if I'm using equipment invented and made by white folks to say something against them. I just wonder if there's going to be something that is going to unite black people and white people, that they will fight. They will fight it, well, at least they are on one side, or they'll fight against it. I just wish that day will come. As for religion, I don't believe Christianity is a religion for black people or for everyone. I believe it's a religion that comes from somewhere. That is according to me, and I believe that blacks or Africans have their own way of believing to God. My example that I've been giving is only that I'm not a known person, is that, you know, these races that live on earth, blacks, whites, Indians, Chinese, we are like animals on a farm. Some are pigs, some dogs, some cats, some cows. We are all important to the farm owner. We all belong to the farm owner. We are important in different ways. A dog to protect the house and the property. A cat to protect or to be a flower, I don't know, to protect the owner's stuff from being eaten by rats. Cows, they work in the fields, they produce milk. So that is how I believe. So we cannot force a cow to live like a dog or to eat like a dog. Understand? A cow has got its own way of living, the same as black people have their own way of living. Cats have their own way of talking to their master or to God. Cows have their way of interacting with their owner. Blacks have their own way, or black or Africans have their own way of interacting with God. Whites, Chinese, Indians have got their way. So let's not actually go to another place and destroy other people's beliefs and how they believe. I believe only God knows why Chinese are important, Africans are important, Europeans are important to him. Fishes, they live in water. That's how they were programmed, or how it was programmed. Leave it like that. So I respect each and every religion. I respect each and every race. As for me, maybe it's because I'm black. I'm at the bottom of the pyramid. I don't know. So for today, that was all for today. I was talking about white supremacy and racism. I feel like it's still there. White people don't like much to get involved with the black people. They live in their own spaces. You know, they can afford much of the things that black people cannot afford. This is factual. It's there to see. It's not something that I'm making up. If you want, I can hold you by the hand. Then we walk and say, look here, white people are affording this. Look here, black people cannot afford this. It's there. It's out there. So I wish I will make a lot of white friends after this video. And I wish that if you don't become friends with me, you can be friends with another black person who is near where you stay. Looking forward to get involved with a lot of white people, white brothers, white sisters. Maybe I'm going to have a white girlfriend. Who knows? So until we meet again, peace.